Hello everyone, and welcome to another Mod Spotlight. I'm Exterminator, and thank you for joining me for another one here. And I know it's been like over a week since I did one. Last week was pretty crazy for me, and I wasn't feeling too good, so unfortunately I had to skip it. But we are back, and we're doing a pretty crazy mod. So some of you may recognize this. This is not a new mod. This is one that's been around for quite a while and is pretty popular, but some people may still not know about it, or even if you've like heard of it or glanced at it, you maybe don't know exactly how it works or what it does. So this is the DangOreus mod. Basically dangerous, but with or is the combined words there. And this essentially creates a challenge map for you. So it's not a scenario; it's just a mod, a standalone mod. But it basically is like creates a scenario for you that is quite the challenge. I've seen several streamers do it, and it's pretty crazy. So what this does is it changes the map generation so that you have a quote unquote safe area here where you can just build normally, like whatever you want. And then the entire rest of the map is ore. Now there's multiple ways to generate it. So it doesn't have to be this way, and I will show you the different ways and what they look like. But there are multiple ways to have it generate. So this is one way. This is the default way that it's just defaulted to. Probably one of the easiest for sure. But all of this is just ore outside of here. So if you want more space to build, you obviously have to mine the ore. And then obviously you need the ore anyways just to make things. But to actually have more space to build, you have to mine through the ore. Now there's a few tricks that go on with this. It basically has a setup where the floor is lava type of deal where you cannot build anything on ore except for miners and pump jacks. So like if I go to try to build assemblers, it will look like I can, but you can see I can't build anything that's not a pump jack or miner on the ore. So you can't get away with that. And then also, you may think, well, I could just mine a bunch and stick it in chests and then blow them up. It doesn't let you do that either. If I have a chest and there's ore in it, and I shoot it, it does not go away. It explodes the ore all over the place. So you have to use this. You can't just mine a bunch of it and stick it in a box or boxes and blow them up as kind of a, shortcut through it. So I think it's pretty interesting. Now, it seems maybe like too crazy, but if you look at these amounts here, these are really, really not rich at all. Like each one of these nodes is like below 100. So it's not like you're going to have to mine for 5 hours just to get a teeny little space. Like you're going to mine through this pretty quick. So you do have to kind of be strategic too about where you mine, like where you want to build your base. But you can go through this. It does get more the farther out we go. But you can see you could pretty easily like clear. You can kind of see where this is divided. And I forgot to turn on daytime here. You can kind of see where this is divided. Like this is less density and then it becomes more here. So you could create a decent sized area for yourself. There's no like other tech or anything. It's kind of a base building logistical challenge. Some uranium in here. There is some oil mixed in as well in here. So let's take a look at the other options. So when you go into your mod settings, these need to be set before you generate your map, obviously. Now the default one is pi. There's Perlin, Voronoi, Spiral, and Random. Now I'm going to show you what all of these look like. So the next one I believe was this one, the Voronoi. I'm going to go ahead and load that one up here. And if we take a look at that, this one's pretty crazy. This is like random, but not as mixed as it could be. It's definitely mixed, but not to the extent as you'll see another one here. So if you want like even more of a challenge where you have to deal with mixed belts and all that stuff, then this would be like kind of a step up for you from the other one. Same rules also apply. And then if we load the next one, which I believe was the Perlin one, you can see this is pretty interesting. So this, I believe this is just the Perlin option is like how ores are generated kind of naturally in Factorio. Obviously this mod changes that even more, but you can see it's like, again, it's like kind of mixed, but there are definitely areas where you could mine without having mixed ore belts, and then you would obviously run to it in some places. But again, if you want it like a little harder than the default, but not insane, then this is, pretty good option for you. Kind of just looks like this all over the place. And then you can still change, like in your map generation settings, you should still be able to change all of your ore, like how rich they are. So if you want it harder, less hard, bigger, like more of some stuff, less of some stuff, that should theoretically still apply. And then the next one was the, I totally forgot what they were. Perlin. Oh, so the next one is Spiral, which should be pretty self-explanatory, honestly. But you can see it creates a spiral. So again, fairly similar actually to the other one, to the pie. It's just in a spiral. So, you know, this would be maybe like the next easiest. And then lastly, if you want to just be insane, the last one is random. And I'm sure you can figure out what this does. It is completely mixed. Like, this looks insane. You are not going to be able to mine anything without having a completely mixed belt with basically every single resource on it. So this, if you just want to go crazy and want a real challenge, this is by far the hardest one. Because just everything you mine is always going to be like 3 or 4 ores for sure on those belts that you got to deal with. But again, same like richness, like you can mine through it, but it's just going to be crazy throughout the whole map. That is the mod. It's pretty straightforward in terms, like those are the settings. There are a few more settings in here to take a look at. So if you want a bigger or smaller starting radius, you can certainly change this. This is default, the simple ore radius. So basically this is saying that it will not generate uranium or other fluid required ores within this size. So basically double the starting area here. It won't generate any uranium, or if you're using mods, it won't generate ores that require liquids. You could do square mode, so ores generated in a neat square for easier mining. So if you want a little easier, this scaling. So this is for the Voreonioi. I can't say that. Scaling. This is the default, but if you want to scale this up or down, you know, it'll make the features of it larger. Easy mode, if you want to be able to build belts and power poles on ore, because you can't even build those normally. So you're going to have to start with like burner miners. Personally, I would like play with this on if I were playing. And then lastly, you can actually turn on floor as lava. This is intended for multiplayer though, where ore can damage the player. Basically it's intended to limit exploration, but you could do this in single player if you want. But those are the options. No other options here, no like tech or anything with it. But that's the Spotlight. You know, definitely if you want a different kind of challenge, I would recommend checking it out on the mod portal. There's a link, of course, in the or in the video description for mod portal page for this. There's some more info up there. There's also some recommended like mod pairings. Like pollution is solution is recommended for kind of lowering the biter threat, but you could just change some of that in the map settings. Piety, it adds a stone sink. I don't actually know what this mod does, but you guys could check it out. And then something with landfill looks like. And then the peppermint mining is highly recommended for late game to minimize the fuss required to manage mining. So you could add that one as well if you want. So it looks like the peppermint mining basically lets bots just directly mine ores rather than having to place miners on them. So that's an option too for you. And then anything else you want. So that should do it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. Apologies again for missing the last week, but glad to be here for this one. And hopefully we'll see you next week. And if you enjoyed, a like is appreciated. If you have any questions or thoughts, leave them in the comments below. If you're new, welcome, and feel free to subscribe. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.